Welcome to the Indie Author Roadmap, the podcast for new and aspiring indie authors.
We're your hosts, Rachel and Rob, here to help guide you on your writing journey.
Join us each episode as we share tips, insights and practical advice to help you take the next steps towards becoming a successful indie author.
Whether you're working on your first book, navigating self-publishing, or looking to connect with fellow indie authors, this is the place for you.
So grab your notebook, settle in, and let's hit the road to your publishing dreams.
Because right in the end, it's just the beginning. Hello and welcome to Indie Author Roadmap, episode 29 on Wednesday, the 18th of June. Don't start, otherwise I'll edit it again. Oh. And how are you, Rachel?
I'm alright, but we're not even introducing names this episode.
Oh, I'm Rob Radcliffe, otherwise known as Just Rob, and you are?
Rachel, otherwise known as the amazing, awesome, brilliant, fantastic Rachel.
You've not got any more?
We're at 4 now.
Super,
that'll be in a few weeks, yeah, we'll have another one in a few weeks.
focused.
Focused.
Okay.
Annoying.
Actually, I don't know why, because I'm all my social media stuff. I call myself the reluctant writer, so I might just start doing that. Let's start again.
I hope you're going to leave the edit.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'll leave it in. Yeah, of course, well, yeah, it's just easy like that. Hello and welcome to Indie Author Roadmap, episode 29 on the 18th of Wednesday in June or something. I am the reluctant writer, Rob Radcliffe, and we have with us...
And if we're going off using names that we've got on social media, I am the productive writer, Rachel.
Okay, well, I'll see you.
The amazing, awesome, brilliant, fantastic.
Super.
Super's in a few weeks. We're just adding one at a time.
Focused?
Yeah.
Are you focused today, yeah?
Focused, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And today we have another guest on, and do you know what? It's sometimes because we mention him so much, it feels like he's part of the show already.
We're gonna grill him.
Yeah, we're gonna grill him on TikTok Shop and TikTok and everything TikToky today.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be our TikTok episode, isn't it?
And it's his own fault because he put himself in the TikTok expert realm.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, like the other week you said, oh, you're an expert at formatting. I've never claimed that, but he has basically claimed that,
TikTok.
you know,
Yeah.
all things TikTok, you know, that's his shit. So, I mean, he does know a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's not like we can test him on it because anything he says, we'd be like, yeah. That sounds like it'd be a thing. So,
but then we all have our niches. Like yours is all the formatting and all that shit. Mine's productivity and getting the words down because that's what I really enjoy.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, Adam used to call me the tech guy, and I'm like, I'm not the tech guy. I've been fucking writing for years. What are you on about? But it's true because I do like to figure out how everything works. I mean, you know, I don't kind of buy out to save myself time. I want to know what it is and.
Yeah,
that's why I don't spend half as much time as writing as you do.
No, I like to do the writing sprints. Like during the first year of COVID, I had a friend who was trying to get the book done, and I was like, "Well, you're not working, so let's meet up on Zoom every day and write." And we'd do 6 writing sprints, which would get me about 6,000 words, and it actually got them to finish their book. So.
Well, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
I need to start doing writing sprints. They're just brilliant, aren't they? You're just completely focused, right? There's nothing else on, as opposed to, oh, I'll do a bit of writing. You know, you're just there, innit? I used to do, I went live a few times on TikTok just because, I mean, I don't know why, you know, people scrolling on TikTok live just see some guy there hammering away at his keyboard. It's not, doesn't make for thrilling viewing, does it? But
no.
It kind of kept me focused a bit.
Well, this is why I love For the Words, because it's literally sprinting and gaming at the same time. And I log on to that every morning around 5:30ish, and there's a bunch of Americans that are there. So I always join them and we sprint, but then sometimes we turn it on extreme. So you've got to get really stupid word counts in 4 minutes.
Are you still doing that every morning?
Yeah,
5 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah. I stopped while I was editing Jigsaw Girl, but yeah, and we jump on. They put some. If they've got me, and then there's another woman that joins, because we both will switch to dictating. If they've got us two with them, then they'll switch it to really extreme writing because we can just get the words down with the dictation.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got editing soon. I sent my book off a few 4 days ago. 186,000 words. 136,000 words. No, it's not. It's 186,000 words. It's my other one that's 130. And he's nearly done it already. He's just brilliant,
Yes.
mate. He stops everything for me.
All
He's got a
right.
load of other jobs on. And he go, right, I'll just get you done. Just, but probably, yeah,
Yeah.
come back some other time then. Yeah. But I hate editing. Do you like editing your own
I
stuff?
don't mind it actually. I used to hate it, and then I kind of reframed how I thought about it, and that changed it. So now I like it.
Right. But like from first draft editing, do you well you write stories different, don't you? Your first draft is the skeleton and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
you're adding layers, aren't you?
yeah. So yeah, I don't mind it. I hate when you have to sit back and kind of proofread it. That's probably the bit I hate because I'm like, now I'm sick of the story.
Yeah, yeah. That's yeah, you're sick of the story, aren't you? And you're thinking I could be writing the next
Yeah.
one by then.
Yeah, so I tend to stick it on my Kindle and I'll read it instead of reading a normal fiction book in bed and just read my own shit.
Cool. How's your son doing with TikTok Shop?
We think he's been shadow banned because he's like literally getting like one view on one of his videos.
Already?
Yeah, one of his videos got put into review and we cannot figure out why because there was nothing in it.
Is that the one that had the wrong word in it?
No, no, this is one since. So I got my mashup retelling story books yesterday. So
Yeah.
he did an unboxing video for it and it was just about what the story was about, but it's literally a fantasy retelling fairy tale thing. There was nothing bad in the blurb, but it got put under review. So I'm like, I bet this is because you've had a few with the bad word in it.
I don't know.
I don't
I'll
know.
tell you, there's someone you could ask in a
There
minute.
is, yeah, but any video he's put up, he's like getting one view. So
Oh, start again.
we think he's
Start
been
again.
shadow banned. So I'm like, yeah, you just there's two followers on there, you're not getting anywhere with it. Just buzz it off.
I can remember there was an author in the novel games group called Alex Andrea or something like that, and I was chatting to her one day, and she joked that she's always in the dungeon. She's trying, TikTok, and she hasn't done anything controversial or anything in the videos, but she's never making 100 views.
No.
They're all, yeah, so she's in the dungeon kind of thing, and fortunately, or maybe not fortunately, her account got stolen
No,
from
right.
some, yeah, so she had to start a new one, and everything's working fine now. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Like that shadow ban thing. I don't really.
No. I was I was watching, I'm sure I was watching someone on YouTube who said that they had a shadow ban on their TikTok account and then it got hacked and stolen. And they managed to recover it. And by the time they got it back, it was out of the shadow ban and had some like 5,000 followers on it. So it was like, yep, thank you, hackers.
Yeah, but yeah, for followers. But what were they doing on it? Like, so were they selling their handbags out
Yeah,
in
yeah, it was a
million?
shitty
Yeah,
crap, yeah. But it was like, I'm just gonna, but then on the theory of every video gets a new audience, it doesn't really
yeah,
matter. You can,
yeah. So yeah, I guess. But there must be some sort of algorithm that you train,
yeah,
like because otherwise, in theory, then if everything gets a new audience, in theory, then I could one day advertise my Ladlit books, the next day advertise my sci-fi books, but it
yeah.
wouldn't work that way.
No, I don't think it's true that you get 100% new audience because I'm always seeing your videos. I'm
Yeah,
always seeing Adam's videos, and I'm not your new audience, and I'm always seeing Elizabeth Joy, or is she called Joy? She write under Joy something, but you know what I mean. I always see,
Joey Mullet.
yeah, I always see
Yeah,
her
yeah,
videos because I follow her, and then there's a couple of others that I always see their stuff. So, and I'm not a new follower.
yeah. I've actually like when yours come up, not yours, pen name X's.
Yeah,
Before I look at the thing, the little, so I know who it is, the profile little
yeah, little
circle.
icon
I know that it's pen name X now. So
because
you've
you've
got
learnt
some
the
sort of,
books.
well, it's sort of like the style and the branding you've got
Yeah,
going, I guess.
yeah.
Mine's dead easy. It's just a picture of me.
with your book, yeah.
Yeah.
And Adam, you know when Adam's coming home, he's always his picture holding his head like this.
Well, yeah, I copied that from. I've got one going like that, like grimacing,
Yeah,
and that's done quite well actually. Yeah, I'm always copying this. Not his music really, but because he's like heavy rock and stuff, that's always worked quite well for him. But yeah, his bits is. I copy anyone me if it looks like it might happen.
yeah.
Who do you copy?
Anyone, you, Adam, doesn't matter. If I see something, I'm like, I like that. I'll just copy it.
Yeah, yeah. That's how me and Joy Mullet got chatting. Actually, it was a lip sync thing with what was it now? It had it had a part of like it was saying that I've loved you, I'd love you for 1,000 years, I'd love you, blah blah blah,
Yeah,
and you lip sync that bit, and then it had Iris. What's that one song that they did in the
oh,
background?
the like the Goo Goo Dolls, the Iris.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and so I thought, oh, that's quite good, and I did that, and she messaged me saying, "Nicking that," and that's how we got chatting.
Yeah, yeah. But then I see Adam does the same because he's started to do all those silly. He's making a video for his book. Have you seen them at the moment? But I
Yeah,
saw
yeah, and
other
they just
people doing those. You know, where they're like zoom in and but they've actually got the camera turned on them. So even he's stealing everyone's ideas.
yeah. You got to you just you need to find things that inspire you, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, I love it. Cinematic, and you think, oh, what's it going to look like? And
yeah,
it's just him chucking dice at a book. I'm like,
yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah, but you've watched it because you want to watch the result, but there's no result. But TikTok sees that as time watched and then shows
Yeah,
it
yeah,
to
yeah,
other people. That's what it is.
yeah, yeah.
And now we've got nothing to talk about because it's not really the 18th of June.
Yeah, we can't speak too much, otherwise
Yeah, we've not to talk
we've
about.
said everything, and then he's going to be like, "What fun doing
How's
it?"
your cross promotion challenge going? You know,
I did one. I did one.
I did one.
Yeah, yesterday I did a reel, and well, no, is it called a reel? A slideshow, but it puts it in a video, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, I did one. I haven't checked actually what it's got.
It said for it, I think on Instagram, it must be like a really slow burn because I'd cross promoted stuff a while ago and I was just, you know, you go on your Facebook page and you go into the messages and read the comments
Yeah,
for your Facebook page. Well, mine is linked to my Instagram. And so it said I had some Instagram comments. And when I looked, I had about 5 comments on various different things that I'd cross posted.
yeah.
But they'd been posted ages ago, but the comments were recent. So I definitely think there's like a delay. So I think on Instagram you just post it and leave it.
Right, the one that I posted, I fucked it up. So I just took the videos I saved it before I put it on TikTok. So I had the videos with the text over it. But it's made the text dead big on a few of them, so it's kind of out of the. I got 72 views.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nothing else, nothing. Yeah. So, it's annoying because like when I'm trying to look and scroll and stuff, I'm doing it how I would do with TikTok,
Yeah.
but it doesn't work like that. Yeah, so I keep scrolling out of it. No, I will keep doing though. I will keep with my challenge. I'll put some more on. I'm actually doing some more content in a bit. I want to do another TikTok shop one, and yeah, sell the rest of my books before my next lot come.
Nice.
Have you sold any books yet on
No,
TikTok?
not because it's got blocked.
Yeah, because that one person that didn't fancy it.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to go and where do you order your boxes from to package them up?
My boxes, Amazon.
Just Amazon.
Yeah, although I've got some, the fold around, wrap
Yeah.
around ones. I've got some of them
Were
because
they
all
just
three
Amazon?
books. Hey,
Were they just Amazon?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I got them because all three books are fitting them. But then I thought I could go with smaller size, so I've just got a smaller size, and all three books don't wrap around completely.
Right.
It's where you tear off is where it wraps around.
Right.
So I just have to use those if people just buy in the first book.
Yeah,
We're
because
talking about fucking cardboard boxes on Indie Author Roadmap. That's the
but
level we're at now.
but it's part of it. It's an important decision because, like, when I was doing my boxes that I was sent off, I went down the one of the years where I had custom printed boxes. Now, obviously, that eats into your profits. Whereas
Yeah,
you
oh
go
yeah,
on
massively.
Amazon, you can buy. I used to buy because it was a box. I used to buy it was like shoebox size, and I'd buy like a pack of 50 for 20 quid.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I've just got some keep the boxes. I've just got some boxes, and they're for my when I do my 6 box book box.
Yeah.
So they're an actual box, they're not a wraparound thing, and they fit perfectly side by side,
Yeah. But
which is
it's,
brilliant.
I know it sounds like a stupid topic, but it's important because it's part of your costs. Because I saw one author, he did some mystery boxes years ago and he wrote motorcycle romance, but he got these boxes printed like a load of graffiti that matched the cover. They were
Uh,
awesome, but I bet it ate into his profits.
yeah, I mean these are. I think it puts about a quid on. How many did I get? No, 25 for 18 quid or something like that.
Yeah,
So 93p or whatever.
yeah,
But it's still cutting into.
yeah. Even the
Yeah,
bloody roll of sellotape you've got to buy, is part of it. It's part of the
yeah. I've
cost.
also bought some bags to put the boxes in.
Yeah,
Uh, just because I was thinking, as I was walking to the shop, my post office is literally 2 minutes walk away, which is really handy. But it was raining as I was
yeah,
walking, and I'm like, yeah, I need to get some bags just to, yeah.
yeah.
Bags
I
and boxes, that's what this episode's going to be called.
Yeah, bags and boxes with Adam Beswick,
Yeah.
AP Beswick.
And I guess we should introduce him. Okay, so here is the TikTok maestro, AP Beswick.
Yay! Felt like I needed to do something.
So, Dean, you all right?
I'm good. Yeah, very busy, as you can imagine.
Right, we're going to be grilling you on TikTok.
Right.
You can.
Are we already recording? Are we already in?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've
it's
been recording
recording.
for
Yeah.
ages. We've just done our intro bit, so
Right.
we just left it on. I'll edit
Right.
it in a bit.
I was going to say just edit the bits where I'm roasting you.
Yeah, yeah.
No, he has to leave those in.
No, that wouldn't be kind.
Do you
You're
know
both
how?
looking really well,
Do you know how
actually.
horrible he is to me? He needs to leave those in.
Yeah, you come back every week.
I know.
Yeah, yesterday's when we recorded yesterday, she kept saying what date it
Yeah,
was,
what
and
date
I'm
is it,
like,
Adam?
no.
What's the date today, Adam?
The 10th.
Yes, it's. It's
And
No,
I can only answer that because it's in the top corner of my screen. I genuinely don't know what day of the week it is at the moment.
it's
Um,
it's Wednesday, the 18th of
yeah,
June.
the 18th of June. Okay,
Yeah, so that's
looking
when that's
forward.
coming out. So that's what I was saying. I'm like, no, it's because the recording we did yesterday was for tomorrow, so it's the 11th, and she kept saying the 9th. So when I was editing it, I just fucking edited over saying the 11th every time she said the 9th.
Oh dear.
This is AP Beswick, our TikTok expert that we've got on today. Hello, Adam.
Hi there. That was probably the most enthusiastic intro I've
Oh,
ever
forget it.
I've
And
ever
here we
witnessed.
are. Here we have AP Beswick, the TikTok maestro. Hello, Adam.
Hi Rob, are you okay? Hi
Yeah, I'm
Rachel.
fine.
Hello.
See, that was better, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. So, please, Adam, I mean, we talk about you quite a lot on the show and stuff because as a point of reference and stuff. Why don't you talk about yourself now? Introduce yourself to people. Yeah, I know.
Oh, I hate this side of things. So, yeah, my name's Adam Beswick. My pen name's AP Beswick, and I write fantasy stories. Gained a lot of traction after I started posting videos on TikTok in 2022, and very quickly became known as that TikTok guy, and have continued to push video content, organic marketing, things like that, which has led to me giving talks around the world, which has been pretty cool, and continuously grown year on year since 2022 to the point where we are now a indie publishing house, not just for my books, but we have a whole raft of authors that we are working with, a couple of which we haven't yet announced, and I've just signed a contract with another author today, which is pretty cool. So all stuff that constantly looking at how we can expand, but the main focus from a marketing point of view is that video marketing and organic growth, getting regular sales to make sure that the business is sustainable and that I get to continue to be a full-time author.
You see, you just said that, oh God, I hate this bit, but were you reading off a script then? Because that sounded pretty good.
No, that was ad-libbed.
Oh, if you just said it so many times now that it just...
Comes naturally.
I've said sections of it, yeah.
Okay, so you started in 2022.
Yes, I did.
Yes, and for listeners who are thinking about starting on TikTok and stuff, what would you? They've got maybe 1, 2 books out, and they don't know, have a clue. What would your suggestions be like?
Okay, so hold yourself accountable. So I started out, as you know, Rob, when a very good friend of mine who was my accountability partner. We were having a year of saying yes, so we weren't allowed to say no to opportunities. And Rob told me about a 5-day TikTok challenge where you had to post video content about your books for 5 days straight. And I hated the idea of it, and Rob very much bullied me into it. So in effect, if Rob hadn't have done that and I hadn't held myself accountable and pushed myself out of my comfort zone, I wouldn't be where I am today. Okay, so where I was in January 2022, I had just released. I was just about to release my third book. I think I released my third book a week after I started the TikTok challenge, which I obviously completed in the 5 days and carried on posting regularly. That book, the first book in that series, made me £100 in the whole of January from posting from the 6th of January to the end of January 3 times a day about that book. And for me, straight away, I thought this is a game changer. I'd made £100, which was the first time, aside from family and friends buying my books, that I'd actually made money from like readers buying my books that I don't know. And then to put that into context, in February this year, we hit 7 figures in total sales. So that's in 3 years. That's what we'd managed to scale to, predominantly through organic growth. We are testing paid ads and stuff like that now, just as we're trying to scale the business. And just to clarify, that doesn't mean I've got 7 figures in my back pocket. No. That means we've had 7 figures in the business that is constantly going into the business to keep it growing and keep it where we are today.
But you're now full-time author because of that first £100 that snowballed.
Yes, and I haven't stopped since. Like, I got the bit between my teeth, kept working hard, kept writing, kept looking at ways to push the boundaries of how I was developing as an indie author, which we all associate being an indie as the writing side of it and the production side of the book, and we don't actually come at it with a business brain or with a business mentality, especially if that's how I always differentiate self-published and indie published. So self-publishing a book is more you creating a book for you, a book that you've created, whereas indie publishing is when you're coming at this from a business point of view where you want to generate an income from your IP and your story worlds that you're creating. So roll on to last week where I've just released my 15th book. So that means I've written, obviously, 12 more books since the start of 2022, whilst growing the business, whilst looking at different avenues to scale and how I can generate different revenue streams that work for the business that is sustainable, which has also led to me creating the Novel Gains community, where I wanted to bring together all the indie authors to learn how to market organically, because it's a lot harder than it was 3 years ago, but it is very much still possible to create a residual income from marketing your books and not having to pay a fortune out for ads.
It is a great community, Novel Gains, because it is just full of people wanting to learn about TikTok, not just TikTok, about social media, and obviously I know that you have a bit of a about paid ads, and always have, and that's why you've gone hell for leather on the free stuff essentially. But Novel Gains, and if anyone isn't there, I know because let people through the gate on your Neville Gaines community quite a lot. That sometimes feels like a part-time job for me,
Yeah.
but I do know there's quite a few people on our group that are in Neville Gaines,
Yeah.
and it's great. But so from your £100, you were doing 3 TikToks a day, and it
Yeah.
was every day, wasn't it? You just
Yeah. Yeah, so it's 3 TikToks a day. I'm very much finding my voice, getting myself comfortable on camera, figuring out a hook that works for my stories, but not only for my stories, but for me, is in how I can sell myself as an author. So what I noticed was working really well, for example, is when I linked in that I was a nurse as well as an author, I was almost hitting two audiences at once. So I was hitting people that were already nurses and thinking, oh, that's pretty cool. Let's go and support another nurse that's writing books. But also, it gave people that humanized aspect from a readership point of view. They were like, oh, cool, this guy's a nurse as well as writing books.
If you were giving advice to someone to start out, would it be to do the 3 a day? And then obviously they're going to come at you with the question, but what do you post about? And I know you're going to say your book, but like, what do you make a video about your book?
Okay, so there is enough content out there to help motivate, inspire, and help you with what kind of creative to use. You've just got to find what there's too many variables for me to say you should do this, this, and this. What works for my books will work completely different for your books. It'll work completely different for Rob's book because we all write in different genres. I think the key for me is your storytelling ability. So, for example, whether it's a slideshow or a video that you're creating, you have to be able to tell a story that connects emotionally with the person viewing that then solicits the response that they need to go and get that book there and then. Okay, so to do that, you need a really good hook, however you want to format that, but then you need to have really good storytelling elements for the rest of that slide or video to get that person emotionally attached to the content that they're ingesting in that moment. So I think you have to be motivated. You have to believe that you are going to have success. I do believe in an element of manifestation. I have videos in 2022 in January when I first started out that when I released that first book, I was telling the people watching the videos, this is going to be a best-selling series. And it became a best-selling series. And that was because from me posting regular, I was lucky enough to have a viral video after, I think it was 7 months, that got like 2 million views that just elevated my books to a whole new level and a whole new audience. But I didn't just stop there because that doesn't mean that's going to be sustained. You have to keep promoting and keep marketing. It's no different than if you're running a paid ad on Facebook and that is going to get served out every single day. Your video content's the same. You need stuff to be going out every day to reach new readers every single day, and that is still possible. It is a little bit harder because all these algorithms keep changing, but you've got to persevere. You've got to hold yourself accountable, and you absolutely cannot blame everyone else or the algorithms for not finding that success yet. Because
I've found like the algorithm. It's a funny thing, isn't it? Because like say you're getting your bog standard 300 to 500 views, and then one takes off, it sort of lifts all the videos around it.
Yeah.
So, and you know, it's great that. So you know, you might have had a video that did quite well 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then all of a sudden people are commenting on that one again as well.
So the reason for that is, again, these algorithms that, you know, if we use TikTok as an example, TikTok wants you to be a success. They want you to have success, but they are only going to push out content that people are engaging with that is decent, good, high quality content.
Yeah.
So when you see a lot of videos and on TikTok and Instagram that aren't high quality, that are, for example, Canva templates that absolutely everyone can use, they're all just going to get merged into one. But if you have a video and say the topic's your Lad Lit series, and you've got one book in particular, you've got a video that takes off, TikTok's algorithm is then going to scour their systems for those keywords and anything related to that book that it can find, and then push that content out as well, because it's becoming a trending content, and that's how things become hyper viral, when people start having discussions about it and creating videos and stuff like that you're not even doing, and that's when it can elevate you to a whole new level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the belly of the beast. But yeah, you have to learn how to work it for you, but don't blame it for your own shortcomings. Like, ultimately, if something's not working, you've got to look at your content
See
and
what
your style and and your hooks, and switch things up.
Yeah, because TikTok's goal is to keep the user on the app, and your goal is
Yeah,
to help them, but
yeah,
you
yeah,
keep up
yeah.
with your stuff.
So keep your engagement up. Make sure you're replying to comments as frequently as you can, and especially when you get momentum. I had a slideshow 3 days ago that got 60,000 views in a day. That was slow. It slow grew all day and overnight. And I was just systematically throughout the day, I'd just stop and spend 5-10 minutes replying to all the comments coming in, keeping that engagement going. And that is generating interest in a story that's not even out. I've only just finished the first draft last week,
Yeah.
but I'm trying to do things differently with a long pre-order and generating that interest over a long period of time to get those pre-order sales up.
That was going to be one of my questions of, do you think it's worth promoting a book that you're actually writing but don't have sales for? Would
Yeah.
you promote it even if you don't have the pre-order live?
You can do, but for me, it'll generate interest, and it's a good way of testing your hooks. The problem I'd say is if you do have something that takes off,
And you've
if
nowhere.
you've got nowhere to funnel them to either get their emails to let them know about the pre-order when it comes up. I got the pre-order up and then started talking about it.
Yeah, there's nowhere
So
for anyone to go. Henrik had that problem, didn't he?
Yeah.
He had
yeah,
one
yeah,
go massive, and he's like, "Shit, I need to do
yeah.
everything
I
right
think
now."
he had a slideshow get like 100,000 views, and he
Nowhere to
lost
go.
Yeah,
so many potential readers. And again, the conversion to when you've got a pre-order up to when you've got the book actually out is completely different.
Yeah.
yeah,
What you're looking at is your engagement and retention. So what I know with my book that is up for pre-order right now is I've put a handful of videos out, and quite a few of them have gone quite viral.
Mm-hmm.
So I know the hook I've got is an absolute like great hook, and that book is showing a lot of potential so far, and I'm really excited about it and where it could go. The fact I'm getting quite a lot of pre-orders in already, and I've not even revealed the book cover yet. I've only revealed the title. All the book covers blacked out on Amazon, and I'm actively working on putting a signed pre-order on my website, so the ebook will be available on pre-order, and people will get that before Amazon or before anyone else.
yeah.
But also the signed pre-order is what it says. Like, literally, we do worldwide shipping, but everyone can pre-order a physical copy of this book
Yeah.
before it, and those will get sent out before the book officially releases. So, or general sale through stores and stuff like that. So yeah, I think the ability to do pre-orders is really exciting, because again, I'm looking at things differently and looking at how we can engage the audience. And with this organic marketing method, I can just keep testing the hooks, see what works, and then double down on it.
Yeah.
It was literally the first hook that I tried that worked, and has worked multiple times now. I think I've already generated over 500,000 views for this story.
Nice.
So I know, although it's not converting to mega pre-order sales because it's only available on the Zon at the moment, that actually when this book is out, or when we get more momentum with the book cover reveal, and when I've got signed pre-orders, that those sale volumes should hypothetically increase quite significantly, because I can see the interest is there, and I'm hitting all the tropes that the market wants.
Yeah.
So hooks. I mean, like, because it was during your challenge at the beginning of the year. I thought, I'm going to actually do it and not sort of do it. And it was after, I think, 6 days, I revitalising the account and stuff, my TikTok account. I came across a hook, which was Bridget Jones from the guy's point of view. And
Not Barry.
yeah,
Bridget Jones, if his name was Barry.
yeah, two different ways. Yeah,
I love that. I love
Bridget
that.
Jones go back, or Ron Con from the guy's point of view.
Yeah.
And I've lost my train of thought now. Fuck. What was I going to say?
Just about
Yeah,
doing the challenge.
Right. So this hook, I have it a few different ways on my mainly slideshows, and it works. And I found a piece of music, and it always does well with that one piece of music. And I'm sick of that piece of music, but it's that piece of music that's somehow resonating as well. And when I try different pieces apart from that one, it doesn't really seem to do as well. So, how important is the music as opposed to the hook? Do you think?
So again, from if you think of it from a storytelling point of view, you want the tone of the music to match the story that you're telling, but also the genre as well.
Yeah,
So it's no use you putting, medieval fantasy style music on with your rom-coms because it's just not going to work. So there is an element of where you can use trending sounds and try things like that, but I always find trending sounds don't work. You either, and again, the beauty of organic marketing is you can keep testing those sounds until you find something that works. With mine, with my when my books first started taking off, it was the Tommy's Vexed cover of "Take Me to Church." It's
yeah,
like a rock cover of it, and I absolutely sick to the back teeth of that song because for 6, 7, 8 months straight, if not longer, I was posting videos most days with that sound because it always converted. So then I've just diversified a bit to find other sounds and test stuff, and I've if you're going to put a percentage of it, I'd say 95% of my videos don't get massive reach. And I've put thousands and thousands of videos out there, and it is just that test, test, test. Think of your content. You've got three variables: your hook, your messaging on the video. You've got the video itself, and then you've got the sound. And then if you want to go into more advanced stuff, then you've got your description, which you really need to be using that as your SEO, like you would on Google search olden days. So you want to put in as many SEO keywords into that description. But what it means is you can play around with your messaging, so the text on your video, play around with the sound. You can play around with the video, but you can do that tweaking one thing at a time rather than all three. So actually, you might find one lot of video content is you don't want to end up in a position where you're having to film hundreds of thousands of videos. You want to be able to reuse that content. So that's where you can test different sounds. And again, test what time of the day you're posting: morning, afternoon, night, mid-afternoon, and just make a note of it, because then that's where you can check your engagement and your analytics and study it each week, and then go back and what has worked. You've got your methodology that's worked, like you've done, Rob, and then all it is a case of doing is doubling down on that content that's working.
yeah,
And then that itself will bring success. And once you've got that and that's bringing a regular income of sales, then you can post that content and create an extra piece of content to test something new, because you have a proven formula. And what you end up with then is, over a period of time, and this isn't an overnight thing, this is taking years of development, you'll end up with multiple forms of content with hooks, styles of videos, stuff like that, I've got all my hooks. I know the messaging that converts really well, and I'll just change the images on the slides, or I'll just film me doing something generic in the background with the text over it. And then every now and again, I'll get inspiration and I'll film something a little bit more adventurous and new, because that other stuff is converting every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I did have a question again then, but then I'm listening and I keep forgetting. So, that's right. Yeah, hashtags or no hashtags, because I've seen people go mad. Watching TikTok videos showing you how to make TikTok videos. Some people go, yeah, you need to have this hashtag and you need to be doing this, that, and the other, and then other people just don't use them and it works fine. So, what's your take on hashtags?
So I've had probably more viral success without using hashtags, because
Yeah,
again, if you cannot get that algorithm to put your stuff out to the right audience with your messaging on screen, your description, like your hashtags aren't going to save you. Like, hashtags are literally for indexing purposes only. They don't. It doesn't get your content pushed out to those hashtags. Like, if you think of BookTok, for example, there's like a billion or
Yeah.
hundreds of millions of uses. Like, the chances of you suddenly getting pushed out because you've used the same hashtag that gets
yeah,
put out thousands and thousands of times a day are very slim. Those hashtags just help index. Now, if you use a hashtag book talk and have a viral video, the viral video will be because of your messaging, not because of the hashtag. But what that would mean is if someone then searches book talk, you're going to appear higher because of your view and it doesn't go off your view count, it's your engagement metrics. So your comments, your likes, your shares, all those things, you repost, stuff like that. So the more interaction you get, the more your content will come up higher on a hashtag. But as I said, with book talk, if you go on book talk and put in sort by relevance, like you've literally hundreds of videos that will come up that have got multi-million views.
Yeah.
So it's a crowded market. So for me, it's an indexing thing. It's not going to push your content out. It's just going to help people find you once you've had sustained success. If that makes sense.
I was chatting to Joe Evans. He's a member of your Novel Gains group, and
I know Joe.
Yeah, and he was saying that he never uses hashtags because he just lets the algorithm can do a hell of a lot better than what he could ever do, and so just leave it as long as, and like you said, as long as your message is clear and you sort of not keyword stuff, but get those keywords in your text, it'll work. Yeah.
So Joe has managed to make regular 5-figure sales, which again, I'm only sharing that because he shares that quite openly on groups, and he's managed that. But when you watch his slides, he doesn't actually show you his book until the last slide of like 28 slides.
Yeah.
And at no point in that story that he tells does he tell you what that book's about.
No, he's telling you a story.
It's an author journey story, isn't it?
It's an author journey story, and it converts. But when you look, it doesn't convert all the time. He posts it regularly. He's got a range of sounds that he uses. He's got a range of slides that he uses because he's defined his voice and his message for that style. Now, he might have other accounts that do slides specifically for the stories. I don't know. I've never asked him that. But he's got that one that's performing, and he'll keep doing that until it stops working. But that messaging works. I've tried that messaging. It works a little bit for me, but didn't generate the level of sales that I'd want for the work that went into it. So I find using different platforms for different things works, and different accounts for different things as well.
Yeah, it's like Steve Aitchison had the same success, but he was telling his author journey.
Yeah, the guy's a legend. Like he's one video on Facebook.
We all know it took him 27 years to write that book.
Yeah.
Because
he just tells a 2-minute story, and that literally converts sales on a Facebook ad for him every single day.
Yep. Yeah.
So how important these days is followers? Because you've got them there. It's sort of like as a creator on TikTok or wherever, that's sort of like your metric kind of thing. You've got a certain amount of followers, but like with TikTok, it sends it out to new people every day, or at least 99% usually is new people every day, which is great. But what's the point in followers?
Yeah, it's a vanity metric. It's still to this day, it's for me, it's a kind of socio-economic, I don't know if that's the right term, but it's the way people view and think, oh, this guy's got success, he's got 120,000 views. So you go on TikTok now, look at some of the biggest creators, and you will have creators on there that have got 80, 90, 100,000 plus, and they'll post content out every day, and they will hit 500, 1,500, 2,000. It's only certain creators you'll see where they get regular high views and content, but you'll see that actually there's such a disparity from the follower count to what they're actually what views they're getting, because again, the view counter is a vanity metric. It's what we get sucked into. I'm not interested in how many views something get. I'm interested in how many conversions I get, in the sense of how many videos, how many sales has that content led to in that day. So I've put out X amount of videos today. How many sales have I made today? What content looks to have worked well? Right, let's replicate that. And I think you've got to be really careful. And again, TikTok especially, but I do think they're trying to get more community focused at the moment. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's an algorithm switch either in the midst or coming soon, because everyone's saying, what is the point of the follower count? Like I've followed these creators because I want to see them, but if you don't engage with the content for a couple of days, or you don't see it it's like that out of sight, out of mind. So what you almost end up doing, the reason why my messaging, I just repeat the same kind of content, is because I know it's going to fresh eyes. Well, for us as authors and as a sales platform, because that's what we're using TikTok as, we're using it to enhance our business and sell our books. We need to use that to our advantage while we can. We can test that market audience every single day, and it not cost us a penny. This is like the gold rush era. Like, after Kindle came out, that was the first gold rush era for indie authors. This was the next big thing. Like, people have an opportunity, and there are so many successful authors that we hear about now that have utilized their social media to good effect to generate life-changing sales. Okay, Instagram is more community focused.
Yeah.
So I'm finding that actually a lot of my metrics is very much going out to my audience first. But the problem is, if you've got people that follow 50 people, they're not going to scroll through 50 bouts of thing. So there again, it's very similar in that sense that you've got to get people's attention. If someone interacts with your post, the post that you put out the next day is likely to be top of their feed. But again, if they then don't interact with that the next day, you're lower down. The day after that, you're lower down. So it's always that battle to keep at the top, which from an author point of view can be quite difficult to keep that engagement. So again, the type of content that works on TikTok might not necessarily work on Instagram, but you can still repost content like that doesn't, that has a chance of going viral. I've had videos that I've reposted on TikTok that did nothing go viral. In fact, my most successful period was through Instagram. Instagram to this day generates me more daily sales than what TikTok does.
So, TikTok shop. We've two newbies here. When did you start, Rach?
Me, my TikTok shop. Well, I started a TikTok shop on one of my accounts, and then my son decided he was going to run my TikTok shop for me because he decided I wasn't posting often enough to make any money, which he's not wrong because I made 2 videos. So he made a new account for me on Friday. So it's a totally brand new TikTok shop.
Okay.
Yeah. But we think it's shadow ban.
I've been going about 2 weeks and sold out, which is nice.
Brilliant.
Although, one thing that annoys me is, and I hope you can help me with this actually. So I've got book 1, book 2, book 3 singles, and then I've got the 3-book set. But so I'm selling bundles, but they're not going down on the singles.
Yeah, no, it won't do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've just got to monitor that yourself. So
yeah,
that is one of the hard things to manage. But just make sure you've got, if you're doing the singles, make sure you've got more copies of book 1, because people are likely to buy book 1 and then come back for book 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Make sure you've got plenty of paperbacks in as well. Paperbacks are cheaper to print, and I don't know how your pricing is, but they're more affordable, especially as a bundle, than what a hardback bundle will go for. We're getting most of our success through paperback bundles and then special editions in hardback.
Right, yeah. So, what would you suggest if you've got you're new and you want to go on TikTok shop? You've just started a TikTok. Do you have to have 1,000 followers to set up a?
I think so. Yeah, I think I was the first indie author in the world to have a TikTok shop.
There we go, listeners. We've got the first
2022. So I literally started out all this. bought 5 books and then sold them in a day, but got to a point where I was spending more time packing orders than writing. So I put it on the back burner for a good 18 months until we were in a position that we could make that sustainable. And to make it sustainable, you have to be able to hold a lot of stock. If you're wanting to create an income from it, you need to have the stock. So we now have APHQ that, we've got a lot of books here. It
looks like a mini warehouse.
Well, that's how we've made it. But 1, it helps you with content, but 2, it makes sure if you have a viral video and you've no stock, you've lost out on a lot of income there. And your profit line selling direct, as you'll have found, Rob, was selling all your books within 2 weeks of starting, is so much bigger than what you get on Amazon. My new book came out on Tuesday. Because of the page count, even pricing that at £15 on Amazon, I was making like £1.50 a book, which is nowhere near the 60% that is marketed out, and it's still annoys me. Like it's wrong how it's explained to us. But if you flip that into context, those paperbacks, because I've bought them in bulk, I
Yeah.
can get those printed in England for £4 a book,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is £3, £4 cheaper than what print on demand will cost for that same book. But then if I sell it at £15, throw in a couple of art prints that I've already had designed that then cost me like not that expensive to have made to a decent standard, and suddenly the sign, suddenly people will buy that. But
Yeah.
actually, there's a big profit difference between £4 and £15. If £10 of that is profit, take away the art prints and the extras we throw in, TikTok will take their 9%, the 9% of that. I'm still making £9 per book, which is a lot more sustainable than £1.50 a book. The difference is you have to be able to hold that stock.
Yeah, I found that with book one. I think it costs me for author copies on Amazon. I haven't gone through Book Funnel yet, but I think it'd probably be a bit cheaper through Book Funnel as well. But it cost me £4.98 for the book, and then I'm selling it for 12 quid on TikTok Shop. It's getting sold for 12 quid on Amazon, but I'm getting £2.11 or something like that from Amazon. So
Yeah,
I'm sort of doubling up
yeah,
on the TikTok Shop, yeah,
yeah.
which is good.
And again, once you get to a point where you can scale and buy those books in bulk, you're laughing even more. I got my print costs down from £4 odd a book to £2 a book just
Yeah.
by ordering in bulk. So
Yeah,
more than 50% less print costs, which that's just added onto the profit line. But then as we've scaled, the costs
Come down.
increase
Yeah.
of your monthly output increases. So
Yeah.
it's not the easiest of things, but I am determined to prove that actually as an indie publisher we can lead the way in how this direct to reader relationship works, and it's so much more personable. And Rob, last 2 weeks you've signed a load of books and sent them out to readers that are massively invested and will be 10 times more invested because they've received a personalized product from you. So your brand, as I always say to you, as long as you don't say anything controversial online, your brand will continue to grow.
so we said that the other day. I said I feel like a real author because
Yeah.
I'm sitting there and signing the books and then they're sending them straight off.
Yeah, I've signed 45 books today for orders that have come in since yesterday afternoon. It's pretty cool,
Yeah.
especially like as you see it growing, because there are days where you struggle and you think, oh, can I do this? But actually, as I said, that author to reader relationship will intensify because they're getting. Where else can people get copies of the books direct from the author and know they are supporting that author?
Yeah.
Okay, you don't see the big publishers doing this. We're always one step ahead of them. It will come because they'll see the success we're all having and they'll look to emulate it and probably price us out the market. But as things stand, you can't go online and buy the books of your favourite traditional authors like that come signed and stuff like that. So yeah, your TikTok shops, keep going for it. Keep making it manageable, so don't spend beyond your means, but get in the stock that you can hold, that but be happy to scale it. Like I said, I started out selling 5 books
Yeah.
and that was it. That's how I started off. Those 5 books made me X amount of money. I then bought more books with that and so on and so forth, and we've now got a warehouse with thousands of books in stock. That I was laughing to my father-in-law earlier because I was kind of like, we won't actually see the return on that investment until all the stock is completely gone and we're not
Yeah.
doing this anymore, because any profits we make, we need
put
to
it back
invest
in.
to buy more stock that we then sell, which yes, it sustains our salaries, for example, but actually from a investment point of view, until all that stock's gone, we haven't got a monetary
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
value
sustains
to it.
itself as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So although you've got £1 million worth of sales in the last few
You've
years,
got a tenner
it's
in your
all on
pocket.
shelves and will continue to be on the shelves.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. So, like, if you should you do anything different when you're doing a TikTok shop video as opposed to a TikTok video?
So I would advise, so yeah, so I keep my main account as just my generic content going out reach readers every day, because that hits an American audience, and if you have your TikTok shop, that your content will only go to a UK audience.
Yeah.
So you can create marketing accounts that link to your TikTok shop. So I've just opened my third marketing account, and Mrs. B has one herself. So because we've got multi-genres now, I've got one that I've started off with my books, and then when we started publishing some spicy series as well.
Yeah.
But what we found was the audience was getting mixed, so it was either one series or the other was selling well, never both at the same time. So my book started off like out the flying gate, did really well, and then we released the Alexis Brooke books on there, and then suddenly my book stopped selling.
Yeah.
So I started a new channel, and one does my books, one does spicy books, but the one that does my books does all the general fantasy stuff that we do. The other one does spicy stuff, and then I've just started a new one this last week for what day are we on? Yeah, last week for the lit RPG stuff. So
does that mean? Sorry, does that mean you can have multiple TikTok accounts that go to the same shop?
yeah, so your marketing accounts. So all your books, Rob, you
Yeah.
should make them available as affiliates. So just put it as a 10% commission. What happens then is other people might buy your book, but they might do an unboxing and they can put your product link in there.
Yeah.
Then if that book sells, or the order comes to you to fulfill, they just get paid 10%, but TikTok handles all the money at the point of sale. So it's not like you get an invoice every month. You'll get 10% less on what you earn off that book. So, but again, you can set that at whatever rate you want. So if you then want to double down, so I've started doing paid ads in TikTok Shop, is you can put your money into the product, not into the ad copy.
Yeah.
So I've got a daily budget that goes into specified products. What TikTok will do is then scour their whole platform for any videos that has those products tagged on the shop. And then if they have converted, it will put your money into that content. So I've got people I don't know that have created videos about books that have got product links, and they're selling every single day because my ads are pushing their content out because their content is converting. So it's the affiliate marketing side. Again, it is leveling up those level of sales. It's more advanced method, but that's the goal where you want to get, is where the content's out there. You just need your ads to spend that money on content that's already proven that generates those sales every day.
So you said then you've got a couple of marketing accounts connected to the. So say that you've got your spicy stuff on one account.
Yeah.
You've got your Levanthus stuff on another. Are they both just linked to the same seller account?
Yeah, so I've just got one TikTok shop. So the one TikTok shop is linked to my main profile. It's just very rare I'll do a video with a link on, because my marketing accounts that haven't got huge amount of followers generate sales every single day. So I did a 6-hour live stream last week for my new release, and in that 6 hours, I think we did 1,600 in sales.
And that's what I want to talk about next, live.
Yeah.
So when you go live, do you have your link to whatever you're chatting about for 6 hours?
Yeah, so you can put your product links on. I did it as a kind of packing thing, so I was just packing orders as they came in and chatting to people, and it was really good fun actually. To the point where I haven't done a lot of lives recently, so I'm now setting up so every Friday morning I will go live, and just whatever orders we've got, I'll be packing them live and chatting to people for a couple of hours. And I've done it for the last 2 weeks, and in that hour and a half, we've generated a couple of £100 in sales.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
It's worth it, though.
And that's doing stuff I'd already be doing. I'd already be there packing orders. So it's finding a way to monetize what you're already doing, one of the boring jobs you're already doing.
Yeah. I went live a couple of evenings ago. I probably shouldn't have done it in the evening because it's mostly Brits, and I find when I do things, it's better in the morning to get a bit more chat. But I was doing the audio narrating book one, and I just switched on live as I was narrating and fumble and laugh about it and all the rest of it. But I had the product link there, and I got a couple of sales, which is nice. While doing something that I would have already been doing.
exactly. But and they work really well. So don't rule out doing them at night time, because there is a whole audience of people that are engaged with that. So from a
Yeah,
business growth point of view, I actively want to find someone who can come in and do live streams every single day and become part of our brand, in that sense of they're part of the face of it, because I
yeah,
can't do live streams every
Yeah.
day, and I know when I'm not live streaming, I'm missing out on potential sales because we've got the stock to shift. So
yeah.
if we get someone who can come in a couple of hours a day and do a live stream for those couple of hours, that is going to generate income over a period of time, because we've got the sales channels for them to do it.
You need a QVC presenter.
You're
Yeah.
laughing, but
No?
there's TikTok.
I'm not.
You've
I'm
got
laughing, but
no, but
it's right,
that's what
isn't
I
it?
mean. You've got TikTok Shop. Now you think of how many other marketplaces there are where you can live stream and sell products. TikTok
Yeah, I
Shop's
know.
leading the
Yeah,
way on it,
Yeah,
but I
definitely.
guarantee in 12 months' time there'll be another 5 or 6 marketplaces.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's already a couple I'm looking at, because I've got an idea for something. I've just got to make the step and try it and see how it goes. But yeah, there's a platform I'm looking at potentially.
Cool.
Can I ask you a couple of very basic newbie questions? So, I was setting up my TikTok shop and it always says free postage.
Yeah,
Does
switch it
that mean
off.
I'm copying for the postage, so I need to
You
accommodate that in my price?
you can do so. Yeah. So I've stopped doing free postage now. We've stopped using TikTok's fulfillment service, so we've set up DPD. They do all our shipping and stuff now,
Right.
because I didn't want every or Amazon couriers anywhere near my books. So yeah, we use DPD, and I think yeah the difference in quality of delivery is non-comparable. I think that company, I won't name them, but there was one. They're no longer the set courier service for TikTok Shop, but I think in 1 week the record was we had £350 worth of damaged orders in 1 week.
So when I they use every. Am I on fulfillment by TikTok?
Yeah, so they stopped using every. They might
It's
have been
just
the
something
ones
about
that damaged £350 worth of my orders in 1 week.
yeah.
Because they were, for me, they were really unreliable. So they just switched it over randomly out the blue, which tells me they mustn't have been happy with it. So they're now using. I didn't know who they were using until I clocked that it was Amazon couriers, and I was like, absolutely, I need to change this,
Are you,
because I've had so many parcels get left outside in the rain, and we
Yeah.
sell books.
yeah,
So
yeah. So you can choose, you can choose to do it.
yeah, don't get me wrong, setting up DPD was an absolute
Yeah,
faff. So
yeah,
basically now it's shipped by seller, so I'm responsible for
right.
coordinating that shipping
Yeah,
going out. So I've had to set up automated systems in the background that link in with TikTok Shop,
Yeah.
that I can print all the shipping labels and pack it and print it and stuff. But the good news is I
the
can
other,
now ship worldwide from my store as well. So
yeah, the other newbie question I had is when I put some books up, it instantly puts like a 30% discount on there.
yeah, so
So
normally the discounts is stuff that you've signed up for. Normally with TikTok, so they charge 9% selling fee, which is extortionate from one angle. But if you think you're not having to pay for ads and they're actively pushing your content out to sell
yeah,
your books, then actually 9% isn't bad. If you also, when it's vouchers you haven't added, if
yeah,
someone then uses that, they subsidise it.
right. So you
So
don't,
you shouldn't be any less off. Now the free shipping is different. It's normally co-funded, so you cop for 50% of it, as do they.
right. That's fair.
But you can switch that off. But it is a good selling point. People like the free shipping and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But since we've been charging for shipping, our sales haven't decreased.
Yeah, but you built the momentum first before you
Yeah,
could do
but
that
also
anyway.
people that want a bargain will only look for bargains.
Yeah,
They're looking for bargains on TikTok. They want TikTok to be Team You. We're not selling a cheap version of our product. We want to sell a premium version of
yeah,
our product, and it's absolutely fine to sell a premium product on TikTok.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Right. Well, this has been amazing. I'm so glad we managed to get you on.
yeah.
And
No,
you've
it's been
answered
really nice
questions.
actually. I thought it'd be really awkward and clunky for me, but no, I've really enjoyed it,
Oh, good.
and hopefully people have found the conversation interesting.
Oh no, I'm sure they will have. I'm sure they will have because yeah, we're always talking about. It's kind of a segment in the show talking about TikTok anyway.
Because we
Yeah, so
challenged each other. He's got to promote every day, and I've got to post on TikTok every day.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, keep
yeah,
yourselves accountable then.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
Keep those shop sales coming on. I'd love to keep me up to date as well.
yeah.
yeah, we'll do. Okay, it's been great, Adam.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. And just in case anyone, what is the name of this book that you were talking about that you've just finished? And
Yeah, it's called Wing Weaver.
okay,
So it's a Dragon Rider Academy story.
fantastic. Okay, we'll see you later.
See you later.
Oh, that was nice. Did you get all your questions answered?
I did, yeah.
Good. So you can use multiple accounts for the one seller
Yeah,
account.
which is really handy. So with my one that's been shadow banned,
You can put that off,
I can
can't
just
you?
delete it and start another one. But what it
Yeah.
also means is because my son's doing the TikTok shop, he's running the actual shop bit because we thought it had to be separate, so he could have a. I already had a TikTok shop on my pen name,
Yeah.
so I could actually just get him to link a seller account, not seller account, a marketing account as Adam called it, to link into that TikTok shop. So he's doing the videos for me, but I can also do the videos for me.
Yeah.
So that's a really good tip. And I didn't know that, and that was what I learned today, and that's what I'm going to go and implement.
Good. I didn't hear most of it because I'm deaf.
Yeah,
So when I go back through the editing,
you'll learn.
I will learn lots.
Yeah.
Actually, I asked one question and I couldn't hear what his answer.
Well,
I need to sort these out. Because I had to turn it down because the daughter was texting me. So I'm asking questions, getting no
I'm
answers.
just nodding. I'm looking like you knew what you.
Yeah, nodding in the right places. But yeah, it's great to chat to him. It's been ages since I've spoken to him.
Yeah, I've
Actually,
not spoken to him since Ireland. So,
face to face. Yeah.
yeah. And he keeps telling me I can ask him questions anytime I want, and then I'm like, yeah, but you always look so busy. I don't want to bother you.
Yeah. All right, so that has been the TikTok Maestro, AP Beswick, and I hope everyone enjoyed that. I certainly did, even though I didn't hear any of it. And we'll be back next week, I guess.
We will, yeah.
Okay. See you later.
See you later.